You are listening to the Horse Radio Network, part of the Equine Network family.
What a beautiful day for horses in the morning.
You are listening to the #1 horse podcast in the world. Here's your entertaining look at the horse world and the people in it.
I am Coach Jen from Ocala, Florida.
And I'm Karen Chatton from Gardnerville, Nevada. And you are listening to Horses in the Morning on the Horse Radio Network for July 9th, episode 3471. Good morning, Horse World.
When your start time's on Saturday and your finish time's on Sunday, and it doesn't get much better than best conditioned, and completing the challenge is the challenge, you're an endurance rider. Welcome back, Karen.
Good morning, Jennifer.
And as we record in July of 2024, the universe is burning. A great deal of the United States right now is in a pretty significant heat wave.
Or there's a hurricane.
Yeah, you have that too. It's the month of extremes, July.
With tornado warnings and flooding. Yes. There's something for everybody.
Yes. and see, we're sticking with a theme here. It's the month of extremes. It's the month of disasters. So today we're talking about nearly averted or just averted disasters, but spoiler alert, they all have happy endings. Don't worry, you'll be okay. So don't hang this up. All of the disasters we're talking about today will have happy endings. We have horses who fall on bad times and need adopting. We have horses who disappear into the wilderness, and we have horses who disappear off the sides of cliffs.
Mountains. Yes.
Yeah. But before we get to all of those things, catch us up with what you've been doing since we last chatted with Jovi, your fresh young thing of an endurance horse.
Exactly. He did just turn 10, and I've now got him moved up to doing 50. So he's now done he's done, I think, 4 50s now, 3 of them this season. And he's done, I think, 3 LD rides. But he's finally figured out what his purpose is in life, and he loves it. This horse, he has turned out, at first I wasn't really sure, because
you went through some rough points early on.
Patches with him, some difficult things that we had to work through. And now it's just like, I just love this horse. He is so much fun. He loves to go. He comes in, he pulses down. He's taking care of himself. He's sure-footed. He can trot. I mean, he's really developing, if I let him, a nice, fast trot. I try to keep him under 10 miles an hour, though I don't like him going any faster than that. But he can trot through difficult terrain that's full of rocks and tree branches and dips, and he just goes over it like glass. So he's turning out to be a really kind of fun horse to ride. So I did the NASCAR 50 on him, and then a couple of weeks later I took him to the Wild West ride and did a 50 up there on him. So we've been having some really nice rides. I'll tell you a little story about what happened to us at the NASCAR ride, which was at Washoe Lake in Nevada. And it was up in the high 90s. So I kind of hem and hawed about, do I really want to do the 50? Or maybe I could drop down to the 30. And then I decided to ride with my friend because we've been training together a couple of times and our horses were doing well. So we decided that we would both just suck it up and go ride the 50 in the heat, which was like 98 degrees. But back in early June, that was still pretty warm for us because, we've been riding when it was like 60 degrees. And so wasn't quite sure about that. But like I said, we sucked it up. And so we started the ride together, and everybody was going really good. We had gone about 10 miles up the mountain. The ride, one of the reasons why I like this ride is you start up climbing up a mountain, which is kind of nice because it gets the edge off of your horse bright and early in the morning. And so we had gone about 10 miles, and we're kind of near the top of the mountain, and we're going around a turn. And all of a sudden, her horse is coming back towards me. He's bolting, and he goes off the side of the mountain where it just...
Wait. He goes off the side of the mountain?
Yes, right off the side. Just
accidentally, or did he just dive?
He just dived. He wasn't thinking. He was spooked. And so I'm sure he wasn't thinking. He was just spooking, and off he went. She was screaming. My horse all of a sudden went, oh my God, there must be like a bear or something coming. I must follow that horse. And so I'm like, uh-oh. I only had time to react. I spun Jovi around facing the inside of the mountain rather than the drop off. And I got myself off of him so fast. I don't think I have ever purposely dismounted that fast in my whole life. And held on to him for dear life for fear that he would get away from me. And then I started calling to my friend, and she answered back. By that point, she had bailed off. And so we were kind of talking back and forth to each other. And she had managed to climb her way back up to the trail where I was. And of course, there was no sign of her horse. It's like heavy brush and pinyon pine and rocks. And it's very rugged, and it drops off going down into a real deep, deep ravine. And so no sign of her horse. So once I made sure she was okay and able to walk, I said, I'm going to continue on, and I'm going to go see if I can try to find him. And so I walked a little bit till Jovi kind of settled, and then I got on, took off trotting, and I just kept calling her horse. And of course, Jovi was trotting, and for some miracle, the horse had to have either heard Jovi trotting or he heard me calling him. And he's a very personable horse. And within like 2 miles, I found him. Wow. And so by then I had made a couple calls. So ride management knew we already had a missing horse, and what the situation was. Now I was able to call my friend and say, I found him.
Well, it's amazing. You had cell service there.
Yes, we had cell service.
Wow.
It was great. And so she knew, okay, because I'm sure she was very dismayed, thinking, God, who knows how long it's going to take to find this horse.
Yeah, stay tuned for later in the show, and we'll find out about that kind of a story. Yeah.
Exactly. So she was so excited. And so I got the horse, and I walked him over to the trail, and then where I could to a tree. And I said, can I tie him up? And she says, well, he doesn't tie very well. Well, the thing is he had gotten really beat up because he had obviously gone through some sharp rocks and who knows what else. And so he had some bad injuries on both of his knees and his stifle and his ankles. And so it's like, I have to tie him up because I can't do anything and hold two horses.
Yeah, there's a lot. You don't want to catch one and lose the other. No.
Exactly. So, but the thing was, he wasn't going to go anywhere once I realized the extent of his injuries. So I got both of the horses tied up the best I could. And then I luckily just instinctively got my bandana and made a tourniquet on his knee, and I did what I could. I got, the boots off that had twisted or whatever on his feet and put them on our breast collar. And then as other riders started to kind of come along, everybody was like, well, do you need any help? And I'm like, well, have you got any vet wrap? Do you have a bandana? And nobody did. And one person or whatever, or two maybe, had some vet wrap, but it had been in their saddle pack so long, it had turned into like a lumpy blob of rubber.
Where
you can't get it open.
Especially when it's exposed to heat, vet wrap or whatever brand turns into a chunk.
It does. And so my tip is going to be how to work around that when I get to it. But let me finish this part of the story. So she caught up, and we made some more calls with ride management, and they worked out a plan. Someone was going to come and meet her with the quad and help get the horse down to where they could meet her with the horse trailer. And luckily, there's a vet hospital not very far away. So she was able to get down. She said the tourniquet held all the way down the mountain because, and that really helped a lot. So she got the horse to the vet clinic. She said it took 2 vets 3 hours to stitch him back up.
Wow.
And now it's been just about a month, and she's been rehabbing him. The stitches came out. Everything looked really nice and clean. And she's getting ready to start riding him again. She's been hiking with him, and he's been a really good patient. And so it's looking like he's going to turn around and hopefully end up being okay. The other day, she brought me a whole pack of these Western themed bandanas. She says, I owe you 1 million bandanas.
Oh,
I know. It was so sweet. So,
oh my gosh. Okay, I need to do this.
Okay, so my tip.
And that leads us to our tip. And once again, we do a tip on every single endurance episode. And every single endurance episode, it's coming from a highly accomplished endurance rider, but it applies to everybody. So what's your tip?
Anybody that rides a horse or even has a horse. This is something that can be useful to have in your first aid kit or in your saddle pack, in your horse trailer. After what I experienced, wishing I had more supplies and not able to get them, and just basically kind of surprised that there were other riders that also didn't have them. And just thank God I did have a bandana. So what I did after I came home, I went and I got a roll of vet wrap. I got some duct tape. I took the end of the roll of vet wrap and peeled it up, opened it up out of the wrapper, opened up the end of it, and pulled off a piece of duct tape and made a tab on the end.
So you can get a hold of it.
So now you can get a hold of it. It won't melt and become just one blob.
Yeah.
So then I took a bandana and I wrapped it around the roll of vet wrap. And then I took a women's feminine pad that's, they come wrapped in plastic. And I folded that and wrapped that kind of around the combination of the vet wrap and the bandana. And I shoved it into a quart-sized baggie, got all the air out of it, sealed it up, and I put one of those on each side of my pommel pack in both of my saddles. So, and I have...
It's amazing the variety of boo-boos you can fix with that combination.
Right. You can make a tourniquet, whatever you can find to hold on a wound, and then wrap it with the vet wrap or with the tourniquet. A bandana, like I said.
A bandana can fix, well, and even with vet wrap, bandana. I have made repairs to halters with bandanas.
Mm-hmm.
It's surprisingly strong if you make it into like a little rope.
Exactly. And like I told her when, she was going to walk the horse down, I said, whatever you do, don't remove that bandana, because the horse had been sliced. And so there was a flap over the knee that was, and it's like, do not remove that bandana, whatever you do. But I wished I had gotten a hold of some vet wrap so I could have vet wrapped over it just to make sure that it
secure.
Make it secure. And, but as it turned out, everything turned out well in the end. And now I'm going to be a little more prepared. Hopefully I never ever need any of that kind of stuff, but I just wanted to pass that on for anybody else, that there's a lot of things you can fix for a horse or a human if you're in the backcountry and have some sort of a wreck with just those simple items.
There you go. Bandana, that's very interesting. Back in the day when English riders still wore stock ties, a stock tie is something that you would see in Bridgerton when there's the fox hunting scene, those big puffy ties that you see people wear. And they were worn not just because they were fashionable neckwear in the day, but because this big long piece of cloth was used in many, many ways in case of accidents, because it actually goes around your neck twice before you tie it into a knot. So in total, it can be up to 3 feet long. So your bandana is the more modern, stylish version.
Right. And a lot of riders ride with bandanas. I've always also usually carried one. The one I actually used was on the back of my helmet to block the sun off of my neck.
Yes. And I have found that wearing a bandana around my neck when the weather is kind of mid-level warm, where you're not sure, like it's chilly, but then as soon as you start to ride and warm up, you start to sweat a little bit. I find them very useful to wear. Just tie it around your neck like a bandana would be in the old cowboy movie.
Exactly.
They're really useful that way. I have found that I wear them a lot in the fall and winter months here in Florida, because you want to keep the breeze off your neck because you're sweating a little bit, but an actual collared shirt's too much.
Exactly. And you can wet it with water if you need to wash some, or clean up a wound, or just wipe something down if you need to. Like if your horse is getting bitten by bugs, you can wash the sweat off of them with it. There's a lot of uses.
They are, and they dry super fast because the type of cloth, they're super thin cloth. And when you get a bandana, don't go with the nasty bandana. Get the one that's actually made of cotton.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you can get them made out of this weird recycled plastic bottle stuff. They don't work the same.
Oh, yeah.
You need a cotton bandana, but that's really cool. And we're going to get Kristen from the Distance Depot, who has been a sponsor here at the Endurance episode for about a bazillion years. And she's going to talk to us a little bit about more cool stuff for hot weather.
Welcome, Kristen.
Hi, Karen. How are you?
Well, we're sweating it out here in Nevada. It's supposed to be 105 degrees.
Oh, my God.
And be triple digits for several more days. So what can I do to keep myself and my horse cool? What have you got?
Well, I think we have you covered. We have a new tight by Carrots. You probably know about the Carrots ice fill tight that they've had for years and years. They have just redesigned that tight with some new technology. So it's called the Carrots Cool Core Riding Tech Tight with Pockets. So it has 2 pockets on either side. Great for your phone. And these tights are engineered to maximize the performance throughout thermal regulation with Cool Core 360 moisture movement technology, which in short terms means the hotter you get, the faster Cool Core distributes and evaporates moisture to keep you cool and dry. So pretty cool for these super hot days. They have a 4-way stretch, a higher rise that sits at your natural waist, so the waistband won't fold over, which is really pesky. Of course, flat, no chafed seams, and the Carrot sticks, which give you a little extra grip, help you hold on in those slippery situations. And they are machine washable, so you can wash them in cold water. They do say don't dry with heat, but other than that, pretty easy to care for. So a really super nice tight for these really hot rides. And then, of course, we have more products. We have a whole page dedicated on the left-hand side navigation menu under For the Rider. It's called Cooling Horse and Rider Accessories. And there you'll find all of the cooling gear. We have products by EquiCool, which is also a cooling technology fabric. And they have body wraps for the horse, neck wraps, hock wraps, leg wraps. And then for the rider, they have a cooling sports cap that you can put on, at the hold or just while you're around the barn. And basically all of these products you wet. And they have a cooling sports vest, so you can wear that as well. You do have to wear them wet. That's how the products work. And the horse products, you just simply wet in cool water and wave it and then apply it to the horse. So you can use it over and over. These are some great lightweight products for keeping cool too. We have, besides cooling things like chafing powder, so the anti-monkey butt powder, which most people have heard of, and the Body Glide. The Body Glide actually works on you, and so on. You can also put it on the horse.
Great.
Good to have
once you get wet, that stuff tends to want to rub on you.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. And some people have one stick for their horse and one stick for them. So on that Body Glide, that way you're not getting horse hair everywhere. Not that we don't have it everywhere anyway. Lastly, we have an ice boot that we make in-house here. So made in the USA. It's called the Easy Ice Boot. These are veterinary recommended. We have vets that buy them all over the country, and they write us letters telling us how great these are for injuries as well as treatment after an injury. And they're now made with larger ice packs that stay colder longer. And they're pretty cool because you can use them different ways. You can freeze them solid in the freezer. You can just soak them in ice water at the hold or store them in a cooler at the ride and then take them out and use them for your vet checks. So they're really good. I've actually been using them on my knee after some of my workouts at the gym. Mm-hmm. My knee tends to give me trouble. It works great for that too. So you can use them on yourself as well.
Good. Well, so how would somebody get in touch with you? What's your website and your phone number?
Okay, they can visit us at www.thedistancedepot.com, and our phone number is toll-free, 866-863-2349.
Thanks, Kristen. And everybody get your orders in if you're going to Tevis or some of these other rides coming up, because it's going to be a hot summer.
That's right. Yeah, orders are pouring in for Tevis, so we're excited about that, and good luck to all the riders out there.
And our next guest this morning is Erna Valdivia, who is from Rosamond, California. She's 17 years old. She's entered in Tevis this year on her horse love story. So we're looking forward to hearing all about her plans and preparations and a little bit about her riding history and about the Love the Horse rescue that she's involved with, which is where Love Story came from. Welcome, Erna.
Hello.
Hi. Tell us, how long have you been riding horses and how did you get involved with endurance?
I've been riding horses since I was about 6. And honestly, we kind of wanted to do something different at the rescue. So my mom found out about it through some friends, and we just started doing endurance with our personal horses before we started doing it with the rescue horses. So the first time I did endurance, I did it on my other pony, Daisy. And it was so much fun because we were out and we were just trotting away, and it was just different territory than what we do at home. And then we started introducing, and then my mom figured out that it was actually a pretty good way to help the horses get exposed to new trail, and helps with training too. And it also helps them get exposed to people that are looking for horses for endurance too. And right. So we started taking horses from the rescue and training them and doing some training rides to prep for those rides too.
So what kind of training have you had as a rider? Did you take lessons initially, or did you just start riding?
I just watched my mom a lot when I was little, because she rode a lot, because she had a horse named Casey, and I would ride him because he was like an old horse that I could just little putz around. My 6-year-old body just putz around on. So he was just easy. And so I just learned a lot from my mom and watching her do things, and I just picked up on it.
So when did you do your first endurance ride?
I think it was maybe 2016. I'm not sure though.
Well, that's a long time. And how many miles do you have?
Oh, my mom told me, and I was like, oh my goodness, that's a lot of miles. I think it's 550 something. It's a lot. I'm like, I don't really pay attention to that stuff because I just ride the horses. I'm like, okay, let's do another 50, I guess. And so I'm just and then when my mom tells me how many miles I have altogether, I'm just like, wow, that's a lot. I think it's 500 plus.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us about your horse Love Story.
Love Story, oh my goodness. Okay, Love Story, she's such a great horse. I love her so much. But she's just, oh my God, she's so sweet, and she understands me so well. And she when we're riding and stuff, I know all her little tricks and all her little quirks that she's going to do. Like when she wants to do something naughty, I know it. I can feel it. I'm like, no, please don't do it. And then she won't do it. But other times I can't stop her enough if she does it. But she's just a special horse. It took us a while to get here and for her to trust me, because before she would not even let me catch her. She's like, don't let me, I'm not letting you catch me. I'm like, oh my goodness, love story. So I'd have to go in there with sheets and stuff. But now she lets me go into the paddock and grab and halter her and pet her and kiss her on the face and snuggle her. And she likes it, because the way you can tell if she likes it is if her ears are pointing each direction, because that's how I know when she's relaxed and calm. And when her ears are forward, that means she's paying attention to me. But when her ears are sideways, that's how I know she's really relaxed and she trusts me.
Oh, good. And she's from the rescue too. So tell us, how did it come about that you came to be riding her?
My dear friend Susanna got hurt, and so she called up my mom because she was really upset, and she told my mom about what happened and stuff like that. And my mom had the idea and said, oh, just bring Love Story up to the rescue so that way Erna can finish her training in the endurance and can finish her up for you. And she's like, okay. So she brought her down. And I was so surprised. I was in the car with my mom when she was talking to Susanna about it. I was like, I am? I was like, oh, okay. So when she brought down Love Story, I was like, dang, this is a big horse. I was like, oh my goodness, this horse is big. I was kind of intimidated because she's like when you first meet her and she doesn't know you, she's kind of intimidating because she kind of just gives you this look that's so judgmental. And she's like, I don't know you. I don't like you. But we put her in the paddock up front, and it was just, I could feel that she was spicy. I was like, oh my God, this is going to be very interesting to work with. So that's how she came to the rescue.
Right. And she's a Shagya Arabian?
Yes.
Okay. Right. And you're getting their shoes done today?
Yes, we're getting them shoed today. Make sure
good.
Right. Yeah.
Good. Yes, rest is important because you're within just a couple of weeks of the ride, and it's also been really hot.
Yes, it has. It's scorching out here. Like, it's so bad. Oh my goodness.
You've gone out and done a night ride also?
Not yet. That part we have not done yet.
Okay. Wow. Have you ridden in the dark before?
I've ridden close. Actually, yes, but it wasn't like really pitch black dark. It was kind of just like the sun was gone. Excuse me. And me and my mom were coming back from training the horses on this trail, and it was dark enough for me. I was like, okay, let's go back. But I think I'll be okay. I think I'll be okay.
Yeah, you will. You've got a good sponsor to ride with. Yeah. And well, gosh, we're going to wish you the best of luck, and there'll be a lot of people following you online and wishing you well. And let's give another shout out to all of your sponsors and people that have helped.
Yes, I just want to say thank you to some people, if that's okay.
Okay, yes.
I especially want to say thank you to Terry Baster, Dovey Pickering, Joe, and Sydney Larkin for helping me with the Ed ride and Paris entry. And I also want to say thank you to Specialized Saddle. The saddle I'm riding in is from them for their very grateful donation. And I'm just so thankful to all of you guys for helping me and supporting me. I'm just so thankful. Thank you so much.
And we also should give a shout out to Love This Horse Rescue.
Yes, and my mother.
Okay, Erna, well, thank you so much for joining us, and good luck. Good luck on Tevis and any of your other future rides.
Thank you.
Well, isn't Erna just lovely? I wish her all the best. Now, before we get our next guest on, I want you wanted to ask me a question about water troughs?
So what do you guys do to keep your water troughs clean? Do you just clean them out every few days? Because I've been trying everything.
But we don't have giant troughs.
Oh, okay.
we use muck tubs, and for each horse in the field, we have a muck tub. So if there were 3 horses in the field, there would be 3 muck tubs.
Okay.
Because that way they're easy to tip over and clean. And when I do that, I don't waste a lot of water.
Gotcha. Yeah.
We've been a muck tub family for many, 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 many moons. And the inexpensive float valve automatic waterers that you can get, I don't even remember who makes them. Nelson, maybe, I don't know, but they're about $15 at Tractor Supply, and a lot of tack shops carry them too. Fit right on the side. So if I want to have it automated so it fills itself up, just drop one of those little rascals on there.
Oh, cool.
But that way I don't have the giant trough that is so unwieldy to empty and clean.
Tell me about it. Yes. Yeah. Especially in the winter, because you can't.
Exactly. You can't. Yeah.
You just have an ice rink. Yeah.
There's no moving it. Yeah. And a muck tub is big enough that per horse, they're unlikely to get close to finishing it within 24 hours. That's enough water that your average horse, that's going to last them comfortably for 24 hours if things go awry and for whatever reason, we don't get to fill it.
What are they, like 30 gallons or something?
Right around there. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. I take the handles off of them because horses are trying to kill themselves at all times.
Of course they are.
They are.
Yeah. Did I tell you about the new llama? Oh my God. His name is Bob. And he first arrived like a few days ago, and he got delivered in the middle of the night. So when the sun came up, he saw my horses and he decided they were going to get him. And so he started screaming, and he sounds like a velociraptor. He sounds like he's out of Jurassic Park, and my horses went nuts. Well, really? Jovi went nuts running around. And he came off the range. He's 5 years old, and he's like a range bull. He's super alert and super, like, already possessive of his area. And if anybody walks anywhere around his property, like on my side, he starts screaming at us.
Really?
Yes.
Did not know this about llamas.
I didn't either. It's scary. He's kind of scary.
Wow. So why did they get a llama? Do we know?
He's already got 3. This is the 4th one.
Oh, so he was just adding to his little llama family.
Because he takes them hunting. Yeah.
Wait. How does one take? Why does one take a llama hunting?
He takes it hunting to carry to pack.
Oh, it's a pack animal.
It's a pack animal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So is this a tame new llama that he can put a halter on?
He's not real tame. He's living in a halter and currently an 8-foot lead rope.
Oh, so he's in that phase. Yes.
Yes. I just sent you a video of him on Messenger, and it's just a few seconds long, but you can hear that sound. But yeah, the sound of that thing is just crazy. I didn't know. The other llamas have never made a sound like that.
Is it because he's male, or does he have upper male ones?
Well, the second day he was here, he broke through the gate and got in with the other male, and they were fighting to the death. They were going to kill each other. And the guy was gone at work, and so I yelled at his wife, "Do you have a water hose? Start squirting him." And that kind of broke it up enough, because the other existing llama would have killed him.
Who knew?
I didn't know. And the sounds they were making were just horrifying. And of course, you'd be nuts to try to get in the middle of that. I guess they've got razor sharp teeth. Scary, dangerous. And of course, that was the second day. So by then, my horses just lined up along the fence watching. Going, what kind of shit show is this?
Holy, well, Jovi has every right to be terrified.
Oh, yeah. They're scary. I didn't realize they were that scary, that noisy.
Yeah, I never associate llamas with noise.
No, I thought the other ones have all been so docile and friendly. They've never even spit at us or anything.
Oh, he got a Craigslist bad ad llama.
Yeah, and Bob is going today to get gelded. That's his name. He's going to get gelded
Bob
today. Poor Bob.
Oh,
Okay.
Bob needs brain surgery.
He does, but it's not going to work because the other male has a female with a baby.
Oh.
And so
this is a bad mix. He didn't think this through.
It's not good. No.
No.
I know.
Did not think it through.
Nope. I don't think Bob is going to fit in. I don't think the others. I even read that the females will protect the baby from the males, and so she's not going to accept a strange male.
No.
Around her baby.
Oh, I anticipate more drama. We'll hear about that next month, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It's never a dull moment at your house.
No kidding. Between that and the pig down the street. Although last month, a horse rider went galloping down my street past my house. He stopped and got off, turned around, walked his horse, got back on, and went up. His horse spooked at the pig.
Oh, not going past the pig.
So it's not just my horse. But
you hear about a lot of people who have horses with pig phobia. Yeah.
I know.
Seems pretty common.
It's kind of nuts.
Recharge your training program with Equestrian Plus. Equestrian Plus brings together top riders, trainers, and professionals onto one video platform. Watch over 5,000 how-to training videos, clinic and event footage, exclusive training sessions, and more featuring top experts including 5-time dressage Olympian Stefan Peters, 5-time Olympic show jumper Ann Krasinski, Olympic eventer and silver medalist William Fox Pitt, and more. Join Equestrian Plus now and use promo code HRN15 for 15% off your first month. Visit equestrianplusplus.com to subscribe.
Our next guest is Judy Hayamizu. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly, Judy. And we're going to talk to her, about her experiences last month when her horses got away on a trail ride in Northern California, and her horse Sparky was missing for a week, and the ordeal that she went through. And welcome, Judy.
Oh, hi. Thanks for having me.
Hi. I know that must have been quite an ordeal you went through. Let's start from the beginning. Tell us how this whole situation unfolded. What happened, and where were you?
We were on the Car Freely Lake off of Bowman Lake Road, and we were just riding up the road, and for some reason, my horse Thor, my little guy, he just went ballistic, like from 0 to 100, like that. And he ran up this embankment, and then he just jumped and turned around and just went back down. And at that point, I just knew I was going to hit the ground. I was coming off. So off I went, and then when I got off, my instinct was to jump right back up, but I couldn't breathe, so I had to take a second. But then what really surprised me is my friend Lori, who was on my horse Sparky, was laying on the ground.
Uh-oh.
So, yeah. So then I had 2 loose horses, and they went and took off down the road. And at some point, I would think Sparky might have been in front, and Thor, who's really, really smart, says, "We're getting too far away. I'm going to turn." So he cut left, and I think Sparky continued straight. And that's why we lost him. And then Thor, he only traveled about 3-point-something miles because he had my phone on him and I had Gaia on. So we knew exactly where he went. And then he ended up on a private property because he heard voices. They were having a wedding, a party. So he went up.
He crashed a wedding.
The wedding didn't start yet, but there was people there. So he heard voices. Gosh. And so he went up that cliff, hit the side of the hill, which a horse wouldn't go, but he went, and then they found him. So they were able to catch him. And then the lady, had I been able to speak to her sooner, I didn't realize when she saw the horse come up, she didn't care about the horse. She saw the saddle. And James Schluter just said, "Where's the rider?" So she literally ran down the side where Thor came up, and no sign of anything. And so that's what happened there. And so then I got Thor back later that evening time. You think around 5 o'clock is when the call came in, but Sparky was nowhere to be found. And so, the odds are in his favor. He's going to be okay. But you always think, what if? And my thought was, what if he got hung up? I knew he'd get rid of the bridle. He has no problem getting rid of his bridle. But, and the thing is, when we found him, he did get hung up because he had his saddle gone, his breastplate. The only thing he kept on was his boots because he loved wearing his boots and he knew he needed his boots, but the saddle and breastplate were all gone. And he literally cut the inside of his front leg, taking off that breastplate. So he's still recovering from that. Yeah, but he's doing good. I took him to the.
And when you say boots, explain what you mean by his boots.
Oh, he wears renegade boots when we go ride in the Bronx and stuff. So they're front boots. Yeah, and he loves wearing them for some reason.
Okay,
and they stayed on the whole week.
They stayed on the whole week. He was missing.
And the only reason he would get rid of his saddle and stuff is if he got hung up. Because otherwise he would have kept it on. I mean, it's a treeless Rebecca saddle, totally comfortable, lightweight. But he got hung up and he had to pull that literally up and over his head.
Oh, that's how he did it. Wow.
Yeah, and luckily I had my dual elastic and dressage girth on him. So it had some give, and then he's not cinched as tight when I can do that dual elastic girth on him. So, but still, he literally tore the flesh off his front by his right leg, and it's healing. I mean, it looked really bad, but it's healing, and the vet said it's on a positive direction. So, yeah.
So give us a little overview of how the whole week transpired with the search parties and all the people that came to help search.
Yeah, so GCTC, my extended family, they were out there the next day on Saturday morning, with riders and hikers looking for him. And then a few days later, Hart was able to come out and do a command center. So they were out there the next 2 days looking for him. And then our gut instinct was, just everybody is like, he's not on this side. He's on the other side of Bowman Lake Road. And sure enough, that's where he ended up being found on a ring camera on trail, trail 9, it's called, whatever that 19, Camp Trail 19.
So he was spotted on somebody's ring camera.
And you know what the funny thing is? That guy attended the wedding on Saturday where they found Thor. So,
oh my gosh!
There's too much connections. And then, like I said, did you read my little story I wrote about him and the signs that he was okay?
Yeah.
And so I didn't make this up.
So what?
Literally.
Tell us what the terrain was like where he was lost.
Oh, where he was lost. It was very wooded. Forest, just a lot of trees, and that's why thermal drones that was the really way to only find him would be at night with a thermal drone. So because he's the biggest heat source out there. But but when he showed up on that ring camera at 10:30, then Nevada County Sheriff's got the call from the owner of the ring camera, and they sent their deputies out with Sergeant Hallcroft, and they went out and they tracked Sparky from the ring camera.
Oh, good.
Yeah, and then Stephanie Geckler of Hart called me and says, Judy, we got eyes on him. We found him. I go, what? So I literally just jumped in my truck and hauled down there to go get him, to find him. And and then when they kept trying to approach him on foot, he'd run away. He didn't want to be caught yet.
Oh.
So they told me, they tracked him again. They found him down Camp Trail 19 along the canal. And so I was walking and looking. I go, I don't see him. And so they drove a little farther after I got tired of walking because I'm still recovering from my fractured ribs. But then they go, okay, he's around the corner. So I look and I go, yep, there's Sparky.
Oh,
and
good.
Literally, I walked super slow to him and I said, hey, Sparky. And he recognized my voice because Sparky's kind of funny, but he recognized my voice. He says, oh, about time. But anyways, yeah. And and then once I shook his little tub of carrots, he just came walking over calmly. And he didn't look stressed. I mean, he dropped some weight out there because he is the most herd-bound horse I've ever had. He loves his family, but he literally went dark. I call it dark because he went radio silence. I was up there Friday and Saturday with 2 of his buddies from home hollering for him and no response. And then I took a Bluetooth speaker on the 3rd day and, he knows those whinnies and just no response. So he literally just went dark. Yeah. And sometimes horses do that. I think when they're lost or stressed, they just go quiet. I don't know if it's a self-preservation mode or what, but yeah, Sparky literally went silent and he's very vocal. He loves his family. He's very vocal and he's very herd-bound. So, and people, were riding around looking for him. And I know horses can hear and smell things from far away. And I would thought for sure he'd want to go be with company.
Right. But, they're so unpredictable in those situations.
Yeah. So.
So how are you?
What it is.
How are you doing? And how about your friend that also came off?
Oh, she was fine. She just, got flunked to the ground and she was fine. So, yeah, but my ribs are healing. My breathing's getting better.
Oh,
so,
good.
Yeah, everything's moving positive. And Sparky, he's healing. Yeah, I'm just waiting for this one section to heal because that's where he took the deepest cut. And it just takes a while for that granulated tissue to come in.
Sure. So, and how is Thor doing? Was he injured at all?
Oh, no.
He's
Thor's fine.
Good.
I'm still mad at Thor. I don't know if he was mad at me and that's why he did it, but everyone says, no, give him the benefit of the doubt. Something probably spooked him. He smelled something or something and sensed danger. But, no, Thor came unscathed. He's fine.
Oh, gosh. Well, do you have any advice for somebody that ends up in your similar type of situation with a missing horse?
When I ride out anywhere now, I'm going to get GPS tracking things to put on them. And I thought about the air tags, but they need to come in cell range, but they'll still work because at some point they'll ping. But someone had mentioned something about a Garin one or something where it just runs off GPS. And that way it doesn't need cell service. And I think I'm going to look into that because anytime I go ride up in the, in the Sierras and stuff, I just think it's a good thing to have. I mean, I haven't come off my horses in a very, very long time. And what time I've had, they've always come back immediately.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So this is just one of those situations, but things happen and you learn. So no, but I really think some kind of GPS tracking device on them when they're out riding like that is a good thing. Cause then they could have been, Sparky could have been located that night immediately.
Sure.
So,
yeah.
And even with the thermal drone, he could have been located probably that night. So, yeah.
Well, I'm so glad you had a happy ending to your story.
No, me too.
It's going to be okay. I bet that was such a relief.
Yeah, because it was like, you always think, what if? But his odds were in his favor that he was okay. But there's always a chance, like he did get hung up. Everything's pointing to the fact he did get hung up. But he got out of it. And Sparky's lucky because he's very limber. It's like he does yoga. He's very flexible. So it worked to his benefit. Yeah.
Good. I'm so glad. Well, thank you for coming on and sharing your story with us.
Oh, thank you for having me. Yeah.
Wow. So many times we hear about horror stories of horses getting loose, horses falling down, and all this and they always end badly. It's so nice to have good endings.
Good stories. Yes, we had good stories today.
Lesson there is everybody get a
good
ring
ending. Camera. And a GPS. Exactly.
Oh my gosh. And now for people who want to follow along with the Tevis has this whole social media streaming thing figured out better than just about anybody. You can have what's called dot parties, and you can actually watch the competitors as they go along on the Tevis ride on their live stream. Where do people find that?
Well, they don't have all the live links up yet, but they will. So go to teviscup.org and you'll be able to look for the webcast links. And from there, you'll be able to look up the riders by their names or once they assign numbers, they haven't assigned numbers yet, but once they do, you'll be able to enter your rider's number into a query and it'll pull up where the rider is on the course.
And for everybody out there,
what checkpoints they've been through.
We a whole bunch of our auditors have been doing the Tevis virtual this year. So you'll be able to follow along when everybody else passes the same milestones you did.
Exactly. Yay. I have one horse, I think, finished the virtual Tevis and the other one is at the quarry. So he's got 4 miles and I have until July 20th to finish.
You can do it. You can do it. You can do it.
Yeah, even if it's 105 degrees. Thanks, Jennifer. But yes, I will be out there early in the morning or late in the evening doing my miles.
And you have till the 20th. The weather might moderate a little bit for you.
I think it will. Yes, it should break by the weekend or soon after. Yeah.
And if you want to learn anything else in the world about endurance riding, you can just go to aerc.org. And to follow along with Karen's adventures, where do they go?
You can just look, I believe it's nvendurancerider.com or karenchatton.com.
There you go. And you're on Facebook?
And I'm on Facebook.
There you go.
And I've even been on Instagram a little bit.
A little bit. Look at you stepping out.
Oh, How about that? Well, everybody's on there now.
That's where all the cool kids are.
They are. You know, all the younger generation, like you even heard Erna say she's not on Facebook. The younger generation thinks Facebook is for old people.
That's for old people. That's right. Well, I'm an old person, so I'm okay with that.
I know.
Well, Horses in the Morning, we'll be back again tomorrow with more fun and hijinks, and we'll see you then.